Gotabaya Rajapaksa must and should resign from the post of Executive President with immediate effect. Number 2, Ranil Wickremesinghe and the government, including the Rajapaksa regime, must and should resign with immediate effect. This includes all cabinet, non-cabinet, deputy and project ministers, secretaries, directors and consultants to ministries, presidents of state institutions and corporations, and ambassadors. Number 3, subsequent to the resignation of the Gota Ranil government, an interim governance which subscribes to the economic, social and political aims and aspirations of the people's struggle, Janata Aragalaya, should be established. A People's Council which has legal standing through which representatives of the Janata Aragalaya will be able to effectively engage and mediate with the interim governance should be established. 3.1. Frame an urgent short-term course of action to provide relief to the people oppressed by the current economic crisis. Areas to be addressed: a program for the provision and distribution of essentials such as food, fuel, gas, and the provision of facilities such as education, health, public transportation, and energy. Cancellation of microfinance and farmer debts. Cancellation of leasing and small enterprise debts, or framing a methodology for long-term repayment. 3.2. Release peaceful protesters who are currently under arrest, including all political prisoners. Ensure a process of justice for those who are victims of political intimidation and revenge. 3.3. A program to provide justice to all families of victims of extrajudicial killings and disappearances. 3.4. An investigation based on an audit to recover all money and assets stolen by the political regime and deal with all those guilty according to the law. Areas to be addressed: the wealth acquired deviously by politicians, tax evasions of corporates that make enormous profits, unethical profits earned by individuals and companies that receive political patronage. 3.5. A complete revision of the current system of taxation. Revise the tax policy in order to minimize the percentage of indirect taxation and increase the percentage of direct taxation so that large corporates and businesses will be charged higher taxes under a serialized tax system. Number 4. Subsequent to the expulsion of Gotabaya Rajapaksa from power, the following steps need to be taken until a new constitution that affirms the power of the people is in place. Reduction of the executive powers of the president. Just law for all. Strengthening democratic institutions and wherever possible, a further democratization of the existing constitution. Number 5. A new constitution that endorses people's sovereignty to be established through a referendum as quickly as possible. Areas to be addressed: the right to life to be recognized as a fundamental right, the executive presidency to be abolished, an appropriate process for a fair election, a process that provides the right to recall elected representatives who are not accountable to the people, a process that enables the people to participate in making and amending the law, address the limitations in the current constitution on human rights and the rights of women and children and strengthen these rights, endorse the right of the people to education and health, take appropriate legal action against those responsible for violating the environment under the guise of development, to make following scientific approach mandatory when decisions regarding the environment are taken, to eradicate racism and racial oppression, to strengthen the relevant legal foundation that affirm the equality of religion, language, sexuality, and other cultural identity, as well as democracy and political freedom. The right of the people to call for a referendum, subject to the consent of a given percentage of registered voters. Number 6. The fundamental objective of the interim governance is to implement the above proposals. It should function for a maximum period of a year, during which time the new constitution should be passed. Accordingly, clauses 3 and 4 above should be considered urgent requirements and should be implemented within a maximum period of 6 months. Clause 5 should be implemented within a maximum period of 12 months. Until such time as all the above are achieved, the People's Aragalaya will continue in new ways.
ගෝඨාභය රාජපක්ෂ රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ ඇතුළු දුර්දාන්ත ආණ්ඩුවේ සකල විද වගකීම් එළඹෙන ජූලි මාස 9 වෙනිදාට පෙර නුඹලා දරන සියලු තනතුරු වලින් වහාම ක්‍රියාත්මක වන පරිදි ඉල්ලා අස්වන්නයි කෝල්ෆේස් අරගල භූමියේ සිට මෙසේ නියෝග කර සිටිමි. එසේ ඉල්ලාස් නොවුනහොත් දෙස් විදේශී වෙසෙන සකල විද ශ්‍රී ලාංකේය පුරවැසියන් හා එක්ව නුඹලා තීරණාගන ඇතුළු සකල ශ්‍රී ලංකා වාසී දෙදහසය කරන්න, එය පෝෂණය කරන්න, එය සංවාදයට ලක් කරන්න